What's going on? What's happening, people? Welcome to the Bread and the Humble Show with your boy Bread. Over.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What it do?
Yeah, yeah, man. Got an action-packed show tonight.
Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Happy to be back. So, what's going on, man? How's the weekend, bro?
Weekend was good, man. Just kind of taking it easy as usual. Celebrated my sister's birthday this weekend.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday, belated. All right.
Yeah. So we went to the Putt Shack in Midtown. I don't know if you ever been
Nope.
there. It's a place where you can play many putt golf.
Okay.
Yeah, but
No, 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 no. Never heard of that.
yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a nice place, man. You know, I would probably say on a Sunday. We went on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You play 9 holes of miniature golf, putt golf. You know, and it's
Like
pretty
put.
fun, man. Yeah, like putt.
Old school put.
Yeah, man. Each hole is creative, you know, in its own way. Makes it a little hard for you, but it's fun stuff.
Oh, cool, man. I know there's a whole lot of golfing spots, man. What's the golfing spot out here, man? Out your way? Uh, what do they call it, man? It's next to Andretti's.
Top golf.
Top Golf. Yep,
Yeah,
that's the big
yeah.
thing around here, man. Top Golf. And
hmm
so you can't do a whole lot of putting there. You just driving all day, but
Right. Yeah, you just hitting the hell. Yeah, you just hitting the
just
hell out of the ball. Right.
knocking the stank off the ball as much as you want. Release some steam there, but
Right.
yeah, man, it's all good. That's all good stuff, man. Good stuff. So
Yeah. How
look,
was your
man.
weekend?
Hey, man. Look, man. Weekend was cool, man. Shout out to Atlanta old school drummers. You know, we had a little session this past weekend trying to get ready for the Juneteenth parade. If we
Okay.
don't, hoping that we don't get rained out. So I don't know. Now I'm getting real scientific in terms of what does 70% chance of rain mean. So get real
Right.
surgical about it. Real surgical. So there's a 70% means that there's a 30% chance it won't rain on the parade and it rains everywhere else. So what does that mean?
Right.
So parade starts at noon, downtown, kind of almost downtown Atlanta. Roughly started from the King Center, not the King Center, but yeah, almost close to the King Center.
hmm
Up Boulevard, going all the way down to Piedmont Park.
Okay.
So it's going down to Midtown.
All right.
So yeah, man. So we're gonna do that parade. Hopefully it doesn't rain at all. We get a chance to do it. But you know,
Yeah.
70% chance of rain, man. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, cross your fingers, man. Cross your fingers,
We'll see, man. We will definitely see. So, man, look, yeah, Hope was right. We got an action packed show tonight. We're gonna get it started. Gonna get it crunk. Whole lot going on. Thanks for joining Brett and Hope show. We are based in Atlanta, GA. We talk about sports primarily, state of Georgia.
man.
But wherever you are from, feel free to tune in to the Brett and Hope show and talk about wherever you are from, whatever teams that you support. Feel free to talk about on the Brett and Hope show and speak on it.
Yep.
Over what you got.
Yeah, man. I just want to thank all the listeners and new listeners for tuning in tonight. As always,
Yeah,
want to give a big shout out to Lou. Lou's in the house
Lou.
for the Enhanced Sports Show. You know, Lou
Yes,
do his
sir.
thing every weekend. Big shout out to Lou. And also, uh, all the listeners out there, you want to be a part of what we got, our little community. You can check us out on Facebook, Bread and Hope Show Facebook group. And Bread will take care of you. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And on that note, man, let's just go ahead and get on into it.
Look, man, shout out to Coco Golf, man. She wins her first French and her second major Grand Slam. So look, man, everybody knew she had it in her. She's our hometown girl from here in Atlanta, Georgia. And so she is, a youngster coming on up. Remember when she was a teenager, competing. Um, and so yeah, man, shout out to her, man. You just kind of knew that she was gonna hit her stride because she'd always they'll be close enough, and just could not get over that hump for a few years. And so USA, US tennis, making it relevant again, at least on the women's side.
Yeah, man.
There seems to be a void, when the Williams sisters are pretty much retired, and so there's a void there. Serena's still playing, but she ain't. She ain't really competitively playing like she used to. So
Right.
everybody know what it is.
Right.
And so who's the next American star? And it seems to be Coco Gauff is poised to do that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, big shout out to her doing her thing, winning the French Open. I think the person who lost to her might have been a little sore loser,
Yeah.
but a little salty
salty.
there. But it happens. But at the end of the day, Coco Golf, she went out, did her thing, man, and won. So yeah, big shout out to her.
Yeah, she did what she had to do to win. And we look forward to bigger and better things from her. Representing this country and something. And she's doing a whole lot, but it's just the women, man, are really doing an excellent job when it comes to representing the country in sports. Women's basketball, women's soccer, women's softball. Women are really holding it down, making us look good. The men's soccer, not so much.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm just so sick. I just think that we should just disband it, man. Something. I don't know, man. It's just embarrassing at this point, man. We lost a friendly like 4-0 or something like that yesterday against somebody. And I don't know, Ho. This USA soccer men's team, man, is just what do you do at this point? It's just you're caught in like purgatory.
Yeah.
And you're too bad to be relevant, and
yeah,
you're not that bad to be.
Yeah, the team hasn't been good for a while now. I think a big part of the problem, is the fact that the way they're going about building the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going about it where you get people, or you get players rather, that are American, of course, but let's be honest. How serious are they about the sport, right? Is it that you're getting guys that, okay, I like to play the game, but don't really have a desire or passion, real strong desire, passion about the sport?
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference, because and that's the reason why they playing like it. They playing, the players are playing as if half lackadaisical, not really. Yeah, they like the fun, the sport, but not you don't feel that passion, At least that's where I don't get the real drive to want to be champions or be the best in that. And I think that's what they need to do, is they need to try to figure out a way to get players on the team that has the desire, the passion to win, and not these guys that want to play every now and then, and then just sell off into the sunset. So that's what the thing is. It's just the process, bro. It's the process of how they're building the team.
Yeah,
how you building the team? If you're just getting guys that just I like the game, I like the sport, but you got to get some guys in there that want to be champion. Who wants to really dig in and win, right? That's what I see. What the problem is, again, and also coaching too.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things, man. it's got a couple of layers, man. Men's soccer's got a couple of layers. I think right now, I think what we're facing right now is passion. You know, the guys just, they 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 just out there going through the motions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that's painfully obvious. But I think the core of it is it's just not good. I just think that's so I think that the passion would help. But I think the skill level of the team has never been world class. I just don't think we produce world class soccer players in America. I think that's the core of it.
Yeah,
If you got talent, and you got the passion, now you got a championship. That's two things.
that's
And
true.
so if you put both the passion along with the skill set, then now you're talking about some world class champions.
That's true. I
So
agree with
so
that.
and if you got the right coaching, like you were about to say, so you put all these things together, but how you get the talent when the best players in America don't play, the best athletes that should be playing soccer are not playing soccer, and so
Yeah,
you got leftovers.
right.
Right? I don't know, So you look at Brazil, and you got Brazil folk that play basketball and maybe a few play some baseball and some other sports, but soccer is where their best athletes go. Got
Yeah,
cricket and that kind of thing. A lot of people play cricket. It's very,
yeah,
very popular worldwide.
yeah.
So that's where their best players go. Pick another team, somewhere in France. Pick another country, France,
France,
and
yeah.
France soccer.
Either
Soccer's
Italy.
number one. Yeah,
Yeah,
Italy. They're playing soccer and cricket. So these guys, and then they're not playing basketball, they're not playing baseball, they're not playing football. They're not running track. I mean, some of them got some track. France is running a little track, but I mean, they ain't caliber US. But it's what I'm going with. And so, where are our best players in the US that are where are our best players in America? Our best
yeah.
athletes. Where the men going? Where are our so-called best athletes going? What sports? Top three
Yeah.
sports though
Well,
that could or should be playing soccer.
okay. Well, let's right out the bat. Uh, well, let's just start with American football. All right,
Okay.
all right. Then you got baseball, and
Okay.
then you got basketball. So those are the top three sports, right? So
Okay.
those are where the best athletes are going.
Yeah, I give you that. I give you that. And so I'll start with football. And you look at the athletes the world class athletes you have in football, and you just can't compete. Because of and not necessarily you mean you're not necessarily gonna have linemen playing soccer, 340-pound guys, 6 foot something odd and playing. No. I'm talking about guys that play your cornerback, your safeties, maybe a linebacker, running backs, wide receivers, those kind of guys in these skilled positions on both sides of the ball that could be playing soccer if they stuck with it. If they started it and stuck with it and they seem to have a skill set for it, maybe these are the guys that would be playing soccer.
Right,
I'm just saying.
right.
Think about it. But we haven't been able to keep these guys or even attract them to the sport. Even though
This,
we got an MLS team here, but
mm,
MLS is not a big thing. It's not like NFL.
right,
I mean, so you kind of got to build that and get that interest level when they're young and stay consistent and
right.
keep them in there and keep, build that passion for the sport and say, hey, you can do this. And some of these kids that, let's just say, are sitting on the bench for football, they'd rather play UFL football than to, give soccer a try. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
used to play that back in the day, but
yeah,
I don't like it. So you're dealing with that. Look at basketball. Look at players like, I don't know, Trey Young, Halliburton. All your top players, whatever players you got playing basketball that are very skilled. But at what they do, well, some guys that you may not even know that are very skilled at basketball, but shoot, they may be skilled at soccer too.
yeah.
But they never stuck with it. They never had, it was never that thing to keep that interest level of men in America to kind of stick with it like women do.
Right.
You know, and so you're not getting your best athletes. Your best athletes are, like you say, football, basketball, track and field, I would say. You know, maybe baseball after that. You know, and I just don't say hockey because I mean it's you're on skates. It's a different kind of skill set there.
Yeah.
Between ice hockey and soccer.
Right.
You both got a net. The game is kind of similar, but the skill set is just totally different.
Right.
So but it's frustrating, Hova, when you watch this stuff. I get tired of looking at this, and I want to root for my country. When we play and when we compete, but man, we just suck, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just what it is, and so you want them to win, but shoot, half of us or most of us are rooting for other countries.
Right.
That's what we do in America, and then everybody from the other country looks like we crazy, because they root for their country. Through Brazil, Colombia, England, wherever, France. Everybody's rooting for their own team when it comes to the World Cup.
Right.
And shoot, we just link on, because we everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to support a winner.
This
Feel
is true.
good or somebody that can compete. So we're not even competing in America, and that's frustrating. That's embarrassing.
I agree.
And so America has to get serious about building a men's squad. I don't think America is serious about building a squad. That's just my opinion. I just don't think we're serious enough about it. I mean, think about it when it comes up, but you're not serious about soccer here.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really what it boiled down to. They're definitely not serious about it. I mean, so, but yeah, man, we got a lot of work to do in that area, no doubt about that.
I mean, hell, maybe the women should take over. Maybe there should be a women that coach the team or run the team, and maybe they can build that talent over some time. Because the men sure ain't getting it done.
No.
And I know there's a different dynamic with women. They don't have, you look at the best athletes for women, they actually play soccer. So I mean, it's basketball, soccer, and softball, I guess. But so it's not like their best athletes are going to women's football.
This is true.
So they get a chance to keep who they have. I mean, now volleyball is a thing now. That's a professional sport now for women. And so there's just a lot. There's just a lot to unpack there. But if you're serious about it, you put resources into it and you put time into it if you're serious about it. We're doing neither for the men's game. And they getting paid. And please, they getting paid like they want something. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The system is broken.
Yeah, it's definitely broken.
The system is broken. And it's embarrassing.
I would agree.
I
would agree.
I don't know. We're gonna revisit it again, man, but it's gonna be a shame to host the cup and your team look like this. It's embarrassing. I would just I'm gonna leave it alone. I would rather get players that got passion to play. Young kids, if they junior, whatever, I don't care. Give me some young kids, man. They got some passion, and put them out there because they just want to play. I would change the money structure, see how much they really want to play. Right. Nah, I'm going to cut the money. I'm cutting the money in half.
Right.
I'm cutting the money in half. And I need y'all to show, if it ain't a passion, then at least show me you got the passion for the money. If y'all make it to the cup round, all right, you get bonuses. You win the whole thing, you continue to get bonuses.
Right.
So that's what I say. That's why I put it right there. If that's what it is, if it's the money, but we need to do something different than what we're doing. Because everybody said, well, we just change the coach, and that's all we have to do. I think it's more than just the coach, man. We just ain't got the Jims and Joes.
Yep, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So speaking of teams that suck, how about the Braves? Um,
I don't know what to say about the Braves. I think the Braves, I mean, it's kind of like, where do you begin, right?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think it's time for a new coach? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, it's time for a new manager for the
Okay.
Braves.
Okay.
I think Schnick. I mean, he's going to do it as long as they allow him to do it. And he's just going to be the same guy. He's going to be the same all year. Same voice, same guy, the same what, just everything. He's just who he is, and I just think that maybe it's wearing thin on the guys that we have. Especially if you kind of got basically the same team you had when you had. It was only a couple of years ago where we was knocking the socks off the ball. We was scoring and high scoring team in the majors. We couldn't help but score runs, and now we fast forward. Really, last year we started having problems scoring runs. But putting it all together, between the pitching and the hitting, we can't put it all together. Usually, if the pitching is good, the hitting fails. If the hitting is good, the pitching fails.
Right.
So,
Right.
Ronnie Bach had a good day today. He pitched an entire game. And the Braves, had a rare series win against the Brewers. We match up pretty well against the Brewers usually. Brewers will be hot, but they run into the Braves and have problems. It's kind of like, us running into the Yankees or something. We never, but Brewers never beat us. So it's one of those. No matter how good you are, the Brewers just don't do well against the Braves. So, but still, I'm not convinced that the Braves are back, man. I think we got some serious problems with this team. I hope that the only bright spot is you hope that you get Ronald Acuna Jr. into the All-Star game. I mean, he's been hurt the first part of the season, but since he's been back, man, he's been on fire. One of the best, one of the best players in the league, man, coming off the dog on injury. I mean, I don't know if you've been watching this guy, man, but damn, he's really he is really special. Ronald Acuna Jr. is a special player, man, and that's between him and Chris Sale. Chris Sale has been solid. He just hadn't gotten the run support or the defense to help him. But he's been pitching his butt off. He's just as good as he's ever been. So maybe he gets into the All-Star game. I don't know. But Ronald Acuna Jr. deserves to get there. We need to write him in there if he's not there. Or maybe the coaches put him in as a reserve or something. But he's really been special. Since he's been here. I mean, he just kind of picked up where he left off at, man. But the Braves are just bad, man. We don't. I think the run differential was, leading the major. I think we've had about 21 run games, man, that we lost. Yeah. 1 run games, about 20 I counted that we lost. 1 run games, man. Jesus.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, right? These close 1-run games, it's just time, man. I think it's time we have a new coach in place, change. I think we can win these 1-run games. I think the coaching philosophy, Brad, if you really think about it, I think it's the coaching philosophy. Because remember, we talked about it last week. I don't know why. I just don't think Snickers. I'm not taking that from what he's done. He's he has got us at World Series.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think the philosophy of his coaching is long ball coaching. It's going take it to the park. He's not. I think one of the best small ball coaches I like was the guy who coached the Yankees, Joe
Torre.
Yeah, Joe Torre. He's
been around.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he's been around. Yep.
I think he's one of the best small ball coaches, man. If you go back and look at those games when he coached the Yankees, man, the Yankees, yeah, they got time, but they hit the ball, but he was good at getting and playing that small ball though.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
good about that. He was good, and when he wanted somebody to get up there and bunt.
yeah.
So
And you gotta
I
make
don't
contact with the ball.
well, yeah, Snooker don't their team don't bunt that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of teams that do nowadays because it's just baseball is a little different now.
Yeah,
Some teams do, but a lot of players don't. But I think players are making contact with the ball and getting base hits. That's it, man. You got to make contact with the ball and know where it's going and get these base hits, man. Some teams got a knack for that, knowing how to drive in runs. I mean, shoot, man, a single is better than a strikeout any day. Single
yeah,
here or double there, that's better than a strikeout any day. And to be patient at the plate, and be very timely with your hits and your
yeah,
swings.
yeah.
So Braves just usually are a very patient team when they're up at the plate. Swing
Hmm.
at the first ball that gets thrown. I don't care what it is. They swing at the first ball that comes across the plate. They're extremely aggressive, too aggressive, and want to knock everything over the fence, man. This is, it's not working anymore.
Yeah,
And so and they're scratching their head trying to find out where they're going wrong. But I mean, you just got to put the ball in play.
yeah,
That's it. Don't hit into a double play. Stop
yeah,
that. Stop leaving players on base.
yeah.
We're good at that too. We lead the league. We're one of the leaders in leaving runners stranded on base. So Braves got a lot of problems, and I think you're right, man. I think some of it, good deal of it is the voice of Brian Snitker. I think some of it is Anthopoulos. I don't think that the GM Anthopoulos made any serious moves in the offseason. We thought that we were gonna, get some pitching and some things, and we just never really got the players that we thought we were gonna get, the pitching and all this kind of stuff. And he just made no splash moves, no kind of moves in the offseason. Other than losing players. It's like, nah, we're not gonna pay Max Fried, just give them to the Yankees. Are you kidding me? I
Right.
mean, he's one of the best pitchers in the majors still. And he's killing it for the Yankees, man.
Yeah,
But I mean,
yeah,
granted,
yeah,
we don't have long dollars like the Yankees, but we are a top team. We can pay somebody. Pay somebody. You let Freddie Freeman go, he wasn't gonna break the bank. And he's the guy that knew how to make contact with the ball.
right,
He's one guy that would get hits and be consistent, wouldn't strike out, patient.
right.
And you lost that guy. And so now who's doing it? So I think Braves, I think Anthopoulos got to bring some players in. I think that we need a new skipper. Got to get a new skipper in there, man. I'm sorry, but I appreciate what Schnitt's done for us. But man, I mean, it's unfortunate. What have you done for us lately? It
Yeah,
looks like we're just getting worse every year, man. Every year we get worse.
yeah. Definitely feel like we're getting worse every year. No doubt about that. Mm,
So I
no
don't know,
doubt.
man. It's just frustrating watching the Braves. I can't wait till the All-Star break so they have a chance to kind of regroup. And as a fan, you just kind of hope that they'll find their way, start winning series again.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
don't find their way. It's gonna be a long season, man.
You ain't lying.
A really long season. really, really. So we'll look towards that, man. So real quick, man. Everybody talking about Kirk Cousins. He's showing up. He's finally getting vocal here in Atlanta about about his role. And so it sounds like he's finally embracing his role as a backup. Not just for the Falcons, but for anybody. I'm like, look, man, look, man, the local folks here, man, listen to the local radio station here, man, and a lot of people in their feelings about Kirk Cousins. And I understand. I get it. As a fan, a lot of fans are. But look, this is business. And everybody, including Kirk Cousins, got to get their mind together that he got a job. Okay, you're not the starter, but that don't mean that you can't be. And so you need to show that you're a true team player, just like Penix supported you. You know, you got to support him and support the team by being ready. Show up, be a good teammate, and be ready. You know, and so get you and you may get your shot again. If not the Falcons, then somebody else. But everybody watching you. So you have to make sure that you are a consummate professional, even if things are not going your way. That's when you really find out what people are about. Is when things don't go your way. How do you handle adversity?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you're gonna be petty and give up and be somewhere about it, or you just gonna be a professional and do your job. And it ain't like you're not getting paid.
This
You're the highest paid. You're the highest paid player on the team, backing up.
Mm-hmm.
So like, shoot, you ain't got the stress of being a starter. You know,
Yep.
so you can sit back there and hold a clipboard, man, for the entire year and get paid. That's not a bad deal. You know,
I agree.
Paid for nothing, just paid to get ready for insurance. So I mean, I don't, and so based on him being hurt and all those things, I mean, he's admitting more to it now about his injuries and all that kind of stuff that went down because we lost games last year. All of it's coming out now, but a lot of the fans are feeling some kind of way about it. You know, he done lied to the team. He done lied to this. He done lied, and we can't trust him. You know, and he lied to, he gave up on his teammates. So how can you let him back in the locker room like that? But man, people make mistakes. Part of the job is not being perfect. People lie. Okay, people don't tell the truth for various reasons because he wanted to save his job.
Right.
Okay, that's what it was. I wasn't right, but people do that. People want to save their job, and they get paid to do something. They think that they can perform through injury. Some players can, some cannot, and he could not. You know, he just didn't tell the truth about it. But now it's come out that that's what it was.
Right.
So look, man. I mean, it is what it is. He's healthy now. Looks good. As a back, he's probably the best backup in the league. one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, possibly. And so just be ready. And so that's kind of how I see it. I don't know how you feel about it, man, but I'm not tripping over it myself.
Yeah, I'm going to add Lou to the stage on this one. But yeah, what's up, Lou?
Lou.
Hey guys, sorry about last week. I had some major problems.
We missed you, man, but we're glad to see you back tonight, bro.
Yeah, glad to see you back, man.
Yeah, major problems. I mean, because our whole internet was shut down.
Oh man, oh no.
Yeah. Now, if you think, of course, the Braves are bad, which they are. I mean, try telling to the White Sox and of course that other shameless team who hasn't done anything but win 12 games this year.
For the Rockies. Look, man, we got the Rockies. We got the Rockies coming up, man, and I don't think the Braves will sweep the Rockies. I think the Rockies win at least 1-2 games against the Braves.
Give them one, because they're equal. They're just equally bad. But
bad, man.
It's now mid-June. They've only won 12 games. I have never seen a team this bad. I thought the White Sox were bad enough last year, but this team is even worse than that.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
I really thought that Acuna Jr. coming back, I thought maybe the Braves are going to make some kind of a run, because that's what they really needed. They needed Acuna Jr. to come back, but apparently it's just not enough.
Yeah, you're right, Lou. I mean, it's just, they're just not getting it done.
No.
Yeah, it's not getting. I mean, it's still, we've seen. I don't think I've seen it bad. I mean, 21, they weren't great. They were like in third, fourth place in 20, but they didn't look like this. They weren't losing one-run games like this.
Right.
It's not the fact that the Braves. It's how the Braves are losing, and it's not like they're getting crushed every night. They're not. They're just losing close games, 1-2 run games. A lot of them.
they're losing a lot of them though. That's the problem.
Right, a
You know,
lot of them.
that's the problem.
More than too many to make us comfortable as fans. To say, okay, they're gonna be all right. Nah, man.
And speaking of a problem right now, the Thunder are having a problem against the Pacers.
Yeah, that's a huge problem, man. I look, man, the Pacers are this kind of team that you really want to have them down by 20.
Right. Yeah. You don't
20,
want to be traded.
25. You don't want to trade buckets with these guys too early, man. So you leave them hanging around. They're gonna do it to you. They're gonna hurt your feelings. So
Yeah. Well, it's like right now they trading buckets, but yeah.
yeah, they what do you guys think about? And I haven't seen the numbers, man. What are the numbers for this series so far? You guys know?
You talking about for the ratings?
Yeah.
Pretty bad. It's the lowest in 20 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with. Go ahead, Lou.
I wonder why though. Why do you think it's because like what? Is it like nobody wanted to see the Thunder and the Pacers, or is it
That's
something
part
else?
of it. You're right. I agree. Yeah, I think that's part of it. But
Okay.
I think that people haven't seen enough of them during the season. And we talked about it last week or the week before last. That I think the NBA has done a horrible job in marketing. Okay, and so
Yeah. Well, when you have small market teams, you're not going to get a lot of marketing.
yeah, I mean, it's Indiana and it's Oklahoma. So you don't have, it's not New York, it's not LA, it's not Chicago, it's not Miami. I mean, hell, it's not even Atlanta. So
yeah, I mean, it's like
yeah.
what Midwest or
yeah, Midwest and I don't know, Mountain West or something. I don't know what OKC is. I don't know what is Oklahoma. Mountain West or something.
I don't. Yeah,
I don't know, man. We don't even We don't, we don't know where they are. So, and most of America don't. So, I mean, it's just, it's look, man. I think you got two good teams, two teams that deserve to be here. But
the Thunder were the best team all year, and it's like it's like it doesn't help. I mean, because you want to see the best teams, compete for a final, and of course, the Thunder were the best team in the West. Unfortunately, Cleveland, who was the best in the East, blew it.
Yeah.
Choke City.
It did, man. And so, let me stay on the side what Lou just said about OKC.
Yes.
And they've been the best team regular season all year. You have the MVP of the league, SGA, playing for this team. And people are still not watching. And it's because the NBA has not marketed this man or this team like they marketed. I mean, this the up and coming talent. This the new LeBron's old. He's done. I mean, he still plays, but he's done. Curry on. He's out. KD, he would have won never in it to begin with. Jason Tatum got hurt. And so all your name players, Donovan Mitchell, like Lou just said, Cleveland they choked. Trae Young barely made it to the playoffs. So a lot of your name players did not make it. And so now you got players, ain't no commercials with Halliburton. I think I saw maybe one. Ain't no commercial, a lot of commercials with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And so you're not seeing the commercials, you're not seeing the sponsorship. I mean, you're not seeing the necessary things you need to see to help pump these guys up. The NBA is not, the networks are really not pumping these guys. They haven't been pumping them all year because,
Well, I mean, the NBA pick and choose who they want to, think about it. I mean, Ant-Man, come on. I mean, I'm not saying, he's a hell of a talent, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, they pick and choose who they want to make the face of the NBA or who they think is marketable.
Yeah.
When you talk about Halliburton and Shai, I mean, here's the question, Brad. Are these guys really marketable, right? Or are they really? That's the
Maybe
question.
they're
Are they marketable or not? In my opinion,
I don't know
probably not. I mean,
I
I
mean
don't I
what
don't.
I mean you're probably right. I mean, but what makes a player marketable?
Okay, well, let's take Ant-Man for example.
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man, he went played in the USA Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else Ant-Man has accomplished? Uh, hell, I'm gonna be honest with you. Outside of
All
the
right.
Olympic, I mean, I
Well,
mean,
I
not
put
trying
it
to be.
well, no. I
yeah.
mean, look, he's an exciting player.
Yeah, I mean, he
Uh,
gives you the highlight dunks.
he
Okay.
get yeah, he get you're right. He give you some highlights. He give you some highlights. He gonna talk some smack. Confident player. He gonna take the one-on-one challenges. He'll take you out the dribble. He does ISO, and so he's an easy player to find on the court. He doesn't blend in, like maybe Halliburton or SGA kind of blends in because they play team ball. The guys we watch now have the best team because they play the best team ball. Minnesota don't exactly play the best team ball. They just got
Well,
a
yeah,
player
I
that
mean, you make a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
and so, but when you don't play team ball, and it's kind of a centric ball of one person, that's easy to spot out, and that's easy to market. That's lazy marketing. It's lazy, but it's marketing. That's what they do, and it's easier to just point out one player and highlight this one guy on ISO than you can with a guy that probably averages double assists, plays team ball. He can blend in or not, which is what you're seeing between Halliburton and he's an American.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
SJ
the
is not
thing. I mean,
SJ is Canadian.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah. He's
shouldn't
Canadian.
matter, but he is.
Yeah, he's Canadian. So, I mean, but to your point, like you said, I mean, if you go back and look at guys that were marketable, facing names like LeBron, hell, I even go with Michael Jordan. Those guys were, you know, they were averaging what, like, let's just say averaging like 30 points a night or more a night. You know, um, Halliburton is not giving you 30. Well, during the season, he's not giving you that every night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shy, he's not giving you that every night. You get this and that, but you don't get a lot of highlights from neither one of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Duncan, I mean, do the comparison. I mean, if you look at, like I said again, if you look at MJ, I'm just using them, MJ and LeBron. You get the highlight reels and all this kind of other stuff, and they scoring let's say 30 points a night, 30 or more points a night. These guys, and during the season, you don't get that, right? You're not
Yeah.
getting that from
Yeah.
them. You don't get
Yeah.
the. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I'll even go. Can you tell me outside of the playoffs what highlight have you can remember Halliburton during the season? I mean, even a dunk highlight. I don't
What?
remember none of it. I mean,
Well,
I don't.
the first of all, the NBA don't show Indiana.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, let's start there. Yeah,
They
let's
don't
start.
show Indiana. They showing Lakers, Golden State, Boston, New York, a lot of New York,
And a lot of
Christians in the
Minnesota, right?
West, in Minnesota. Yeah, you see Minnesota now, and so that's what they're doing.
But
And
my question is though, but why though? Why is that?
yeah, I mean, I think you
I mean,
hit. I
think
think
what
you
I'm
hit a little
saying.
bit because
Well,
of it's about scoring too,
yeah,
and
what I'm
so
saying is,
and he's not making those. I mean,
if
he's hit
if
shots
Halliburton,
throughout the year,
yeah,
but
he make. What I'm saying, Brady, if he's making highlight dunks, he don't do highlight. I mean, he get your shots here and there, but he not giving you no highlight dunks. You know,
oh no, but he's not. He's not. I mean, he can dunk, but I
oh no,
mean,
he can dunk. I'm just saying you ain't
but
get.
but I put it to you this way, and I put it to Lou. Are there more? Who? Which player? I'm gonna name two players, and you tell me who's got the most highlights. Halliburton or Trae Young?
Trae Young, probably.
Lou, I'm putting it. Lou, who has the most highlights between those two guys?
Trae Young.
Yeah. So Trae Young is the guy who does not dunk. I don't know if he can dunk, but he's got hella highlights. More than Halliburton, and probably more than SGA, or just as many as SGA. And this we talking Trae Young.
But I'm saying, but why is that though? What makes Trae Young different than those two guys?
He talks. He's got a lot of mustard on his play. He's flashy. He don't just pass the ball, but he got Magic Johnson passing skills. Let me put it that way. And that's saying a whole lot coming from me. And so I think he's got the skills of a Pistol Pete, or Magic. He's got those kind of skill sets. He got the floating jumper. He comes down the lane and he's got the fingertip floater. I don't care how tall you are, he gonna put a floater in your face. Oh, he's got unlimited range. Now he ain't as he's not as good as Steph when it comes to range, but he's a rangy shooter on the regular. And those are highlights. Everybody do that. Now, everybody got these long 3-point shots, all that kind of stuff. But Trae Young falls in that bucket of what the NBA likes to market. So if you're not dunking, then you got to be shooting from the logo. That's why they call it logo Trae. And so ice Trae. And so and with that, the league can market that type of me play, that type of ISO type of play. It ain't team. Although Trae does not do a lot of ISO, but he leads the league. He's one of the top 3, if not the top guy in terms of assists. But he don't get credit for that. But it's not just a number. But it's not the fact that he passes the ball a lot and gets the credit for the assist. It's how he goes about passing the ball. It's behind the back. It's no look. It's a fake to one side to the other. He Hollywood. He's Hollywood. That's why people trying to get him out of Atlanta and get him into a bigger market because he's Hollywood.
Right.
SGA is not Hollywood. Halliburton is not Hollywood. Trae Young is Hollywood. That's why they're trying to get him out of Atlanta. And he may be getting out of Atlanta. That's the word on the street. If Atlanta can't get a big time player before this contract is over, Trae Young is gone. Just like that. And he's going to a bigger market. He's going to LA. He's going to New York. He's going somewhere. He's just leaving Atlanta. Atlanta's just going to be left with a lot of picks. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Because if this was Atlanta playing OKC, it's going to be all about Trae Young. What Trae Young doing, all his highlights through the season, everything. Because he's not Steph Curry, but he's Steph Curry-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one Stephon Curry, man. Come on.
Yeah. But you know what I mean. He's
Yeah.
It's only one Steph, but but let me put it this way: Steph started the whole thing that Trae and other players in the league follow.
Right.
And Steph was the first one to start doing all this rangy shooting and in turn on the regular. Everybody shooting threes on the fast break, all that kind of stuff. That's what they do now. And so some players are successful with it, and some players are not consistently successful with it. But Trae happens to be successful with it. But these guys, the marketing and the non-marketing of the ability not to market these guys, man, it's just, I think it's an NBA problem. These numbers should not, and I think also putting 2 days in between each games is hurting this whole thing.
And then, that's the other problem. Yeah, that's the other problem.
Yeah. There's too much time in between, and so there's a lot that can happen in terms of a loss of interest, especially when you don't have, again, guys, the marketing of these teams or players. And the NBA does not know how to market a team. I just be frank. It's got to the closest they can get to the closest they can get to marketing the team, Lou, is big three. When they used to do big threes back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't team marketing, but it's just close. Say it again, Lou.
Who do you think will be the big three now?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Yeah.
I fall short of one. I mean, I look at Boston, and Boston's got Brown, Jason Tatum, but who's the third guy consistently?
Yeah, but remember Boston. I think Boston ran into trouble with some injuries in the postseason, and that's why they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but the big three, I don't know, man. There's not any really consistent big threes that I really notice. I mean, you look at the teams here, and it's like really the whole team, man. Everybody plays their role. It's not really you got Halliburton and everybody else, and Siakam, if you want to put a guy in there, but it's not a really who's the third guy consistently. There's no consistent third guy. It's just the team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the big three. I don't know, man. That's a like you said with Boston. I mean, outside of
I think it's a thing of the past now, man. I
Yeah, you ain't lying.
I think it's a thing of
the I think it's a thing of the past too.
It worked for a minute.
It was changed.
Yeah, I think it worked for a minute, but nah, man. I think it's just different. I think it's all about your squad, your team, and how good your bench is.
Yes.
And how well you consistently win games using that team method. So I mean, you look at LA with LeBron and Luka, but they sitting at home. So two players. I mean, LeBron to be a 40-year-old, man, looks good. He's a good player, man. He's solid.
In good shape.
Solid. He's in good shape, a lot better shape than Luka. And I think that's probably Luka's problem is staying in shape.
Yeah.
He's like, what shape? I shoot the ball. I shoot ball in basket. So I mean, Luka got natural ability, but I don't know, man. I don't think Luka would ever help a team win until he takes care of himself in the off season.
Yeah.
That's just me. I think he needs to take better care of himself in the off season. And I ain't saying he got to get ripped in there like that, but he's got to take better care of his body. Because if not, man, he gets tired in the second half. You don't play the whole game. You D him up, man. He's gonna be silent a little bit. He's gonna have some hot nights against people like the Hawks, but 75 points in the game, 40 points, whatever it is. But for the most part, 82 game season, man, Luka ain't built for that. And the postseason behind that too, he's not built for that, man.
Yeah.
But still, that saying that, if I was Dallas, I would not have traded him. All that being said, I would not have traded Luka. I would have had different methods to get his still in shape, find him or whatever, get some trainers in there, get a team, and give him some bonuses. Like, look, man, if you tighten up, then I get you some bonuses. Otherwise, if you just gonna show up and do whatever you want to do, then that's just what it is.
Right.
But I try every method in the book to get him in shape, man. Because that's the problem.
I agree, man.
That's a serious problem, man. So, but obviously he's marketable, but you can't market people that ain't playing. I mean, so again, marketing and image. We're gonna be talking about this forever. Quick question, guys. Let me get off.
Yes.
Giannis. Where do you think Giannis is going to end up?
He's staying. He's staying. The Bucks won't let him go so easily. I mean, you can say all the rumors you want, but the Knicks, whenever, nah, he's staying. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that's my same sentiments as well. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Disregard
think
the rumors, folks.
Yeah, I think teams have to give up too much to get it.
Right.
You know, which will put him in the same state that he's in Milwaukee, other than being in another city.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, there's talk about, you know, obviously here in Atlanta of getting him paired with Trae Young, but Atlanta doesn't have anything to give but Trae Young. And you let go of Trae Young, and I don't know, man, you really don't have a point guard, really. So Buffkin ain't it. You know, so without Trae Young, you really don't have a guard. And you can't really say that. I mean, Giannis will probably be in the same spot he's in right now.
Right.
Just you know, no guard.
Right.
But I mean, I'd much rather play in Atlanta than Milwaukee, though. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'd rather play in New York than Milwaukee, too.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
I'm just saying. I would play in Miami than Milwaukee. There's a lot of places I'd much rather play than Milwaukee. I'll just be frank.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. When I think about Milwaukee, I don't think about basketball. I think about football.
Man, I think about bad weather when I think about Milwaukee.
Well,
miserable weather, just miserable.
You know, that's the thing, right? You know, like, you're absolutely right. Like, well, at least if you play for the basketball team, you're playing indoors. But just think if you got to play, but I mean, just think you play for the football team.
I'm thinking Brewers.
Well,
yeah, I got about Brewers.
The Brewers. Yeah. But what I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Braves used to play there, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
I know.
Matter of fact, have any of you guys ever visited Milwaukee?
Never had a reason to go up there. Never wanted to go up there at all. Just never wanted to go up there. It's like, let's go to Milwaukee. For what? So, why would I want to go to Milwaukee? Just saying, I don't know.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's funny. I had a coworker of mine. He was from. Well, yeah, that's funny, Lou. I don't think that counts, Lou.
Okay.
No.
Hey, Lou, that's about like me flying over Wyoming, but
yeah.
The closest I'm gonna get to Milwaukee is Happy Days. All right.
Yeah.
That's the closest I'm gonna get to. And LeBron, yeah, that's the closest I'm gonna get to it. That's the closest I want to get to it.
Yeah.
But I got frat brothers from and you know, I got frat and stuff from there. Went to school with people from Milwaukee.
Yeah, I worked with somebody who was from Milwaukee. They didn't have a lot of good things to say.
Yeah, they did not. They didn't have a lot of good things. They just stayed in Atlanta, man. They're like, nah, I'm not going back to Milwaukee. I stay in Atlanta. It chill down here. So that's it. You know, so I'm like, man, you know, good reasons to that. So so really the whole point of Giannis, and you know, and Giannis, he's the kind of guy you don't ever see him clubbing, all red carpet guy. He's not that dude.
Anywhere.
Yeah, so I mean, lucky for Milwaukee, he's not that kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't need the lights and glamour. He doesn't need all that stuff, and you know, and so he probably likes Milwaukee for what it is, and lucky for Milwaukee, right? So some of the other players gonna need some scenery. They're gonna need some, you know, better weather. They're gonna need stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that Milwaukee cannot provide.
Yeah.
And so that's
By the way, guys. By the way, I'm taking Lakers in 5.
Yeah, right.
That's our running joke, everybody. That's our running joke.
No, man. I tell you. Yeah,
All
LeBron.
right.
Let's go LeBron. How many will LeBron score? Oh, my bad. You can't score if you're not in the game.
I think I'll be here all week.
It looks like we're up on it, Brett.
Let's go, man. So look, man, take us home, Luke.
All right. Well, this is a big week if you're in the finals or anything, because hey, we got a lot of finals. We got, of course, the NHL finals. We got the NBA finals. We got the U.S. Open. We got the finals of the UFL. U.S. Open golf tournament, which begins tomorrow, bright and early. I'll be a night out this week, that's for sure. We'll continue with MLB. Any NFL news coming because there's a lot of it. WNBA continues, and UFC and WWE wrestling. And we'll also recap the men's final of the French Open. And it was a doozy, to say the least. Was it ever? Also, your thoughts and comments. The ridiculous sign of the week. I think I got a few of that. Sports trivia. This day in history and Saturday's day in history marks a special one for certain fans like me. Hint, hint. The good story of the week. And it's the 8th annual Dads and Grad Show. That's right. Father's Day combined with graduations, whereas junior high, high school, or whatever the case may be. So if you're a dad or a grad or know of one, hey, feel free to call in. By the way, this show will be done from Milwaukee this weekend. No. I can't. I had to throw one more, guys.
You had to throw that one in there. Yeah. All right.
So if you have time to call,
Yep.
Dial the phone number 512-543-4662. Once again, 512-543-4662 to call the show. Don't forget, we're also on Facebook Live now. We're not doing streaming anymore. We're on Facebook Live.
Okay.
But I think you can still like and share the Facebook, like the Facebook page as well. I think we still have that. So if you can do that, please press it.
Yep. We'll do.
We'll do.
Thanks a lot, Lou. Appreciate it,
thanks,
man.
Lou.
You got it.
And
Nice
we want to wish all the dads out there happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day weekend approaching. So, hey, see you next week on the Brandon Hope Show.
Speak on it.